What up, soul fam? Guess what time it is? You're never gonna believe this. It's 11:11. I'm not shitting you guys. It's 11:11. That's amazing. Amazing. I've been seeing a lot of the 11s the last couple days. It means something different to me than it probably means to some of you guys. Just like a lot of numbers in numerology, there's always a generic meaning, but also if you are journaling and if you've been on this path for a while, journaling is important. Even if you just document it in your calendar and you don't journal, even if you make videos and that's what you consider journaling. But if you really want to know what your numbers mean when you're seeing these synchronicities popping up, you literally have to document it. You have to journal. I could show you guys my books. I have notebooks. Every time I seen a number, it could literally, there was a time when I was seeing every hour on the hour, 4:11, 5:11, 6:11, 7:11. And I'm like, what? What are you trying to tell me? And I would literally document what I was thinking, what I was doing, how I was feeling, everything. It took me a very, very, very long time to put the puzzle pieces together. Then again, sometimes I consider myself to be a little bit of a slow learner. Slow at picking things up. I just need to be sure. Like, I need to be positive for sure. Yeah. So it took me a long time. I literally started seeing the number 11 in like 2000 and gosh, I can't really remember. It was like 2003, 2002. It was between 2002 and 2004. It was when I went through the whole breakup with my kid's father. I was in my early 20s. And when everything went down and he left, I remember crying. And I had this digital clock and the numbers were red. It was one of those old, like 1990 digital clocks. It was red. It was an alarm clock. I remember I was sitting in the chair and I glanced over into the other room and I could see the clock. It said 911. I had fear rush through my body. I was like, what does that even mean? 911, emergency? Something bad. So for a long time, I see 911. For a really long time, 911. And then I just started seeing 11. 11, 11, 11, you know, everything was 11. It got so bad that I started to cover up the VCR and the cable box with VCR tapes so I couldn't see the time. I didn't want to look at the time. Any digital clocks I had in my house, I unplugged them. That's how bad it was for me. I was going crazy. Then I told people about it and they were like, you're crazy. You're under a lot of stress. And then that made me feel really shitty, like real shitty. Like maybe I am under a lot of stress. I'm going, and you know, this was around the same time period that I shut down my third eye because of all this paranormal shit that I was experiencing. I've shared this before, but I've had paranormal experiences my whole life. I've been able to see people that were dead my whole life. Didn't know when I was little that they were spirits until I got older. Nobody embraced my abilities, so I was afraid to use my abilities. They still kept coming to me. They got stronger and stronger when I ignored them. Sometime when I was like 19, 20, I had an episode. I was home alone. There was a man. I lived down by Lake Ontario, and literally the lake was across the street from my house. I lived in a really old house, cobblestone basement. I seen this energy, ball of light flying around. I know this sounds really crazy. And the dog is looking at it. I had a Rottweiler. Dog was looking at it. I was like, oh fuck. The dog sees it. It's fucking real. Okay, so it goes away. Like, I'm on the phone calling my kid's father. Gotta come home. You gotta come home. I'm scared. And he's like, oh, you're just seeing shit. I'm like, I'm not seeing shit. The dog sees it too. Whatever. Nobody believes me. Then all of a sudden, I hear walking around upstairs, and I'm like, huh, his cousins are home. Now I feel better. I feel safe. I'm not home alone. So I call the cousins, and I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing? Come downstairs. And they're like, we're not here. I was like, stop lying. And they're like, no, we're not there. We're in Webster, or wherever they were. I'm like, well, somebody's here. I hear them walking around upstairs. So I run outside and I look up to see if there's any lights on. There's no lights on. So I call the landlord. The landlord comes over. He checks out the apartment. He goes inside. Nobody's there. Okay. He leaves. 10, 15 minutes after he leaves, I hear walking around again. I call the cops. The cops come. They check the fire escape. They check all the windows upstairs. Nothing. Have the landlord come back. He goes back inside with the police officer. Nothing. Call the cousins back. Be like, you guys need to come home. Somebody is upstairs in your apartment. Now they're like, I don't know. They're far. Like maybe an hour, 40 minutes away. They weren't coming. They were chilling, partying, doing their thing. They was like, Gabe, you're crazy. Chill. Stop smoking trees. Because back then he used to smoke trees. So I'm like, maybe I am high. I don't know. So I'm like trying to chill and watch TV. I'm laying on the couch. And I have my dog laying on the floor next to me. Big Rottweiler. Beautiful girl. Her name was Baby. So I'm chill at this point. I feel comfortable. I'm actually getting so comfortable that I'm about to fall asleep. Then all of a sudden I look down at the dog and all her hairs start to go up. And then it has like this razor blade of hair just like sticking straight up. And I'm like looking at her and I touch the hair. I'm like, holy shit, it's spiky. And then I look at her face and she has her teeth and she's like, she's growling. And I'm like, what's wrong? You know, I'm like petting her. I'm like, what's wrong? And then I just glance up to see what she's growling at because she's like, attention, her ears are pointed forward. She's getting up and she's crouching and she's growling. And I'm like, oh my God. And as I look up towards the kitchen, there's a fucking man standing in the doorway. Oh my God, I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps. This man, I remember it as if it just happened. I'm like, I have goosebumps going down my body. This man was wearing a fisherman hat. Those, I could see everything, like his, like as if he was a human, like solid. He's wearing those rain pants that you wear when you're fishing, I guess. They're just like this whole like plastic suit with suspenders. And he has a bucket with this rain hat on, fisherman hat. Literally like what an old fisherman that used to do shrimping would look like. Carrying a bucket, in his other hand was a hook. And as I looked at the hand and realized it was a hook, I lost it. I got so scared. Everything happened in a split second too. As I had that fear rush through me of like, oh my God, I'm actually seeing a spirit. That's not a man. The dog runs into it and goes through it and it's gone. And then this ball of light just shoots around the house and then just goes out the window and it's gone. It's gone. I am on the phone. I had one of those long ass cords. I'm on the phone, on the porch, calling everybody. My cousin, my best friend, my kid's father, the cousins, anybody. I'm even doing like three-way and shit. Like I'm like calling everybody. I need somebody to get home to me because I don't know what the fuck I just witnessed. I don't know if it's good, if it's bad. I didn't have any training on any of this. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know if the fear that I was feeling was because the entity was bad, or if the fear that I was feeling is because I actually witnessed an entity that was solid and took on the form of a human being. It was crazy. And that's not the first time I witnessed anything in that house or any house. I always have these experiences, these paranormal experiences. So I was told that if I don't stop with these stories, I'm going to end up in Bellevue. My cousin came over. She said, I'm going to have a talk with you. I'm going to have a heart-to-heart with you. She's like, I love you. You're my favorite cousin. I don't want to see your kids being taken away from you, but you need to stop talking about ghosts and seeing shit. She goes, do you know how crazy you sound? And I just started crying because she made me feel like maybe I am going crazy. Maybe there's something wrong with my brain. Maybe I have a tumor in my head. I don't know. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is happening to me? And I didn't want my kids to be taken away from me. So I stopped. Anytime I saw something weird, I was like, stop. I just yelled at it. Stop. It's not real. I don't see nothing. And eventually it just stopped. There was a time that when I stopped it, before it literally just came to a complete stop, it got real bad. Shit moving, falling. It got real bad. I know it sounds real fucking bizarre and crazy and probably fake for people that have never had this experience, but I swear to you, with every fiber in my body, I'm telling you the truth. And I just stopped. So when this 9/11 started popping up, and then the 11 started popping up, before that, you know how I knew that my kid's father was cheating on me? I was crocheting a blanket, sitting in a chair. And I heard a woman's voice say, check, I'm not going to say his name, so-and-so's phone. And I was just like, it was weird. I was like, check so-and-so's phone. So I just turned around and glanced, and his phone was right behind me on the counter, his work phone. So I checked it, and there it was, a phone number. Because he worked for a company that my brother was a huge boss for, so I know that you're not supposed to have personal numbers in your phone. You're not supposed to have anybody's numbers, not even the customer's numbers in your phone. So I was like, who is this? And I had her name, her mom's house, work number. I was like, why does he have this girl's mom's number, work number, everything? So I called. She confirmed it. And it was then the whole split up happened. And then when he left, that's when I seen 9/11, and I thought something really bad was going to happen to me, because 911. And that's when I started to wake up more consciously. It took a while to become consciously aware. It took a long time to really understand what was happening to me, but it was literally a call to action. It wasn't anything bad. It was also telling me that things are changing in my life. It's the ending of a cycle of my life, the ending of that chapter of the book, and I was moving on to a new chapter. And the 11 was to illuminate, to wake back up. And because I was suppressing my gifts. And then I just started to work on my abilities again. And of course, they weren't as good as they used to be. They used to be like the bomb. I wish I had the way that I used to be. They were the bomb. I still have those moments every once in a while, but when I was younger, shit just seemed more active. And then, I don't know. And then I became more consciously aware of my gifts and my path and spirituality in general. And this is where I'm at today. I decided to create this YouTube channel for people that have experiences that don't have anybody in their life to support them or help them or guide them or give them advice or embrace their gifts or anything like that. And I never want anybody ever to feel that they're crazy when they're experiencing these things, because experiencing these things and then being told you're crazy is like a whole new person. You take on a whole new personality, and it really just mind fucks you, and you don't know how to feel. And I don't ever want that for anybody ever. So that's basically why I made this channel. So that is my witchy vlogs for today. All right, guys, I'm at my dad's house. It's lunchtime. I love you guys. Bye.